UFC star Sean O'Malley recently said that the controversial kickboxer Andrew Tate reached out to him with a cryptic message. Tate received a great deal of attention this year due to his divisive views on society and women. Now, since his message to O'Malley has been revealed, he's becoming the talk of the internet once again. Let's look at what we know about this. First off, Sean O'Malley says Andrew Tate sent him a text message. Just recently, Sean O'Malley appeared on the Timbo Sugar Show podcast. There, he discussed the British Americans' scandalous views with the host, and most of their discussions were politics related. But he also revealed that Tate had messaged him out of nowhere and said, "Let's do it." Evidently confused at the context of the text, he simply replied with the same, unaware of what the boxer meant. O'Malley didn't necessarily say whether he supported him or was against him, but while referring to these out-of-the-blue messages, he said Tate's quite unpredictable and has very strong opinions. He also said that he liked the kickboxer's idea of women getting the numbers of their body counts on their forehead. Tate had suggested earlier that doing this would solve 99% of the world's problems. While there are many elements of this ridiculous idea that are problematic, it's quite surprising that O'Malley would agree with it, and he's known for being in an open relationship himself. He has previously made even more comments regarding sensitive issues, such as sexual assault, harassment, and depression. After being charged with 11 sexual assault cases by the British police in 2017, he eventually shifted base to Romania. So fans weren't very happy to see that O'Malley was defending him. Maybe if he was forced to have his private, intimate life broadcast on his forehead, his opinion would differ, but it doesn't seem like he had a very strong reaction to O'Malley's message. Keeping in mind his speedy response, it felt like he was pretty chill about the whole thing. Next, what does Sean O'Malley's message to Andrew mean? When we think about the message between the two, some people might say there's a hint of sarcasm in it. Perhaps it was just a joke or a careless text, but it could also possibly be Tate challenging the latter to a fight. It's also worth knowing that his net worth is believed to be in the ballpark of £100 million. This was after he ran successful business ventures with his brother, Tristan, a former professional fighter. So he's definitely equipped with the skills and expertise to easily ask other people to fight him. The British American recently even claimed to be the sole top man in the world when people compared his search trend to Paul's. He noted that he's way more famous than the latter, even though his social media influencing career started after Paul. However, he still admitted that he respects Paul for making a drastic career change. On the other hand, those who say he didn't challenge O'Malley to a fight with his message suggest that it was probably something else. The former kickboxer weighs over 200 pounds and is over 6 feet tall, while O'Malley fights at 135 in the UFC. But we still think a fight is imminent, especially since O'Malley agreed to it himself. Let's wait and see if we get any more updates from them. It shouldn't come as a surprise if a match between the two is announced soon. Plus, the similarity between this situation and the one with Sean O'Malley and Adrian Yanez. After this interaction between the two, fans couldn't help but think about how everyone's been challenging the latter to a fight lately. Not everyone has such a regular pattern of people pursuing them, because just a while ago, Adrian Yanez also said he wanted to fight O'Malley. It comes as no surprise that Yanez has elevated his status as one of the best fighters in MMA. This was when he participated in a fight with Tony Kelly to open the primary card of UFC Austin. The success moved his record to 12-3 and stretched out his series of wins to 9 matches. Adrian's victory in the match with Tony created even more hype among audiences after he hit Tony with 2 full birds, which came as a shock to him. It seemed like the action was a response to Tony's last appearance close to an octagon. As Tony was seen with his girlfriend Andrea Lee earlier, he was overheard calling her rival a dirty Brazilian. Similarly, it was also said that he was heard calling Brazilian fighters cheaters. After the win, Adrian seemed to have his own fan base. In an interview with TMZ, he was asked what his plans for the future were. He said that he was interested in fighting O'Malley. This sounded like a pretty bold pick to everyone. Now, we can't say for sure whether this will actually happen or not, because O'Malley didn't say anything about it. Unlike the situation with Tate, he seems to be pretty quiet about it all, despite fans wanting to know. But if he does agree to this as well, it's going to be an interesting match to watch, for sure. Now it's time for some other related news. First off, Sean O'Malley's new booking revealed to be Peter Yan. It's quite evident that O'Malley has been given a shot at catapulting himself into the thick of the title picture at 135. At UFC 280 on October 22nd, he's scheduled to face the former champion and top-ranked contender, Peter Yan. He got this booking despite being ranked 13th in the division and coming off as a relatively incomplete fighter compared to Pedro Munoz earlier this month. At the UFC 280 press conference in London last weekend, O'Malley announced how excited he was to be facing Yan. He said the Russian is the best fighter he's ever been matched up with, and he believes this will lead to a new and improved SUGA. If we look at Yan, he's known to have beaten Jose Aldo for the vacant bantamweight title at UFC 251 in 2020. He then lost the belt soon after being disqualified from his fight with Aljamain Sterling for an illegal knee. He was able to defeat Corey Sandhagen after this to score a rematch with Sterling. Eventually, Jan lost a split decision to Sterling at UFC 273 in April, but we're excited to see how things pan out between him and O'Malley. The latter even gave him credit where it's due, but expected to outdo his opponent on the fight night. This move came off a bit overconfident to some fans, who began wondering whether Jan would somehow manage to beat him instead. What a surprise that would be. But either way, it's still crazy to think we might actually see a confrontation between them. Even the president of the UFC, Dana White, revealed recently that he was shocked when matchmaker Sean Shelby proposed a match between O'Malley and Jan. So it's only a matter of time before we find out what's going to happen between them. Also, Jake Paul targets a fight with Andrew Tate. According to a report from YouTube drama alert show host Keemstar, it has been revealed that Jake Paul is eyeing a mega money fight with Andrew Tate. And what's so interesting about it is that it could be worth an extremely profitable deal for both of them. Paul's brother Logan has also confirmed that the pair would appear on his podcast very soon. Here, he will deliver a message to Tate ahead of the potential meeting. His friend, J. Leon Love, who has worked with the YouTube star during his short boxing career, believes the fight would deliver significant wealth for both of them, with huge audience members anticipated. Tate seems to be very confident about winning any fight, but has clarified that he doesn't like his potential next opponent at all. He said he's totally down to fight and beat him. From the sounds of it, this seems like the victory will be his. But let's see. Lastly, Jake Paul's fight with Hassam Rahman Jr. canceled. Fans were disappointed when it was announced that the much-anticipated fight between Jake and Hassam ended up getting canceled. This was because the former world heavyweight champion did not comply with the weigh-in monitoring prior to the fight. Most Valuable Promotions announced that Rahman Jr. had signed an agreement to fight on August 6th at a maximum weight of 200 pounds, but the fighter submitted a weight check to the New York State Athletic Commission showing that he had lost only 1 pound since agreeing to the fight 24 days ago. They said that it would not be possible at less than 205 pounds, but Paul had gone ahead with his preparation to accept the fight at that limit. Still, Rahman's team said that their fighter planned to show up at 215 to the official weigh-in and would not accept a lower weight. This left Paul with no choice but to announce the cancellation of the show. In a statement, his team complained against the cancellation of both the fight against Tommy Fury and Rahman Jr., who he accused of falling apart. And that's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Andrew Tate's message to Sean O'Malley? Are you looking forward to seeing them both fighting? Let us know in the comments below. Do give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell notification for similar videos. See you in the next one.